Bum ba da 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 ba da 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 ba 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 da 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 ba bum ba da 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 da.
Hello and welcome back for another video. Yep, another build video, building stuff from scrap as usual. It's a good way to clean up the garage, you know, gotta get stuff out of the way. Trying to solve a problem. What do I do with these doggone water bottles? You know, we got 4 of them. Actually, we got 5 of them. And we just need someplace to store them. I keep tripping over them in my laundry room and kitchen. So I figure I'll make some kind of shelf for them all to sit on. So that's what I'm about to do today. So come along and see what I got. So this scrap is left over from my bed. Basically used this to make a platform for my bed. That's a whole nother story, but I found it at the lumberyard, discount lumberyard, for super cheap. It's like almost 1 inch thick. It's a little thicker than 3/4, so it's some kind of weird shape or size, but it's most likely used for building cabinets. And here we go. I'm building shelves with it now. But either case, it's been around the shop. It's real heavy. It's real cumbersome, and it doesn't like the weather. So there's only so many things you could use this stuff for. So I'm going to use my table saw here and cut out all my pieces and get things rolling. If you don't know, that blue tape there is to help it from tearing out. So, you know, this kind of material doesn't like going through a table saw. It doesn't like getting cut by a saw. It really chips out the edge. So by putting some tape on there and keep my blade really low, I was able to really eliminate a lot of that. But there was still some. But I'll show you how I fixed that a little later. Here's one of my favorite tricks when I'm using my cutoff saw and you're making a lot of pieces. See that? I just put a block over there, and all I have to do is just true up all my pieces to that block, and they all come out the same size every time. All right, so I took all the pieces, laid them on the floor, stacked them up like if I was going to put them together. This is all just barely balancing here. You see the pieces that are actually going to go, those are going to be forward. They're just kind of laying there in the back just to get the size. I got my brackets laid out here. I'm going to use those to give it strength, as this is going to be holding about, you know, it's going to be holding 10 gallons of water on each shelf. So I want to make sure that's stout enough, and I built it stout enough to use the 3rd shelf as well. So here we go. Just putting it all together now. DIY dowel pin. Clamp sander in vise. Put dowel in drill. Voila. As well as these dowel pins in between, I also have it screwed and glued and backed up with metal brackets. So this is going to be one strong structure. So for anybody who wants a track saw but can't afford a track saw, here's my solution. This is a piece of bed frame or 1.5 inch angle iron, however you want to look at it, and a couple of clamps, and it works fantastic. I lied earlier when I said I cut out all the parts. I forgot to grade a backing. Now my backing, I really only have 1/4 inch ply. I really want it to be thicker. So what I'm going to do here is take 2 pieces of 1/4 inch ply and lam them together actually on my project, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that, just to get the thickness that I'm desiring. Time for some paint. I'm going to do this white lacquer on the side that faces my shelves, and then I'm going to do this regular white on the back side. This way I can save myself some lacquer. Not only that, they're both just a couple of extra cans laying around. That's the only reason why I'm using spray paint anyway. And now that they're both painted, let's get them on here. So the first one here, I'm lining up really nice, making sure it fits perfect. I know they're both exactly the same size because I've already lined them up and making sure of that. And here comes the glue. Just look at that. Just put plenty of glue, more glue. And I think I'm going to put a little bit more glue over here. Maybe some more glue over there. Some more glue over here. And then I'm just going to spread all that glue out so it's all nice and even. Yeah, look at that. It's like a cake of glue. A little bit more here, a little more there, some flavor. Indeed, more glue. And now that the glue's there, I can sandwich these things together, get them nice and lined up. But I'm going to take screws and screw this thing all in, all the way down. I'm putting them in, right about every foot or so. This structurally does help a little bit, now that it's a 1/2-inch piece of plywood instead of a 1/4-inch piece of plywood. It's going to give it some rigidity to the whole structure, but this structure's solid already with the dowel pins in it and the metal brackets and being screwed together. It's already pretty strong, but once I put this piece on the back here and get it all screwed in nice and tight, this thing's going to be almost indestructible. I almost forgot to put screws in where my shelves are to hold that in there. That'll actually help everything lam together well. I didn't want to use a chalk line here, so that's why I used the painter's tape. So I just used that painter's tape as a chalk line so I know where my shelf's at, and just put my screws in right at the edge of it. Nice and clean, all installed. Probably don't have to do this, weight it all down, but I just think it'll help it all glue together better. This next product is a wood veneer. It's awesome. You just use an iron to apply it and it glues right on. Just put it all around the edges, and all the places that are showing bare wood is now got grain. Just sand it up, and then I'll put a little stain on this and it'll look sharp. Sorry I didn't get you a shot of what kind of stain I'm using. It's just that normal brown stain that I've used on everything else I've made here that you've seen. Just gives it that nice little pop and clean up, and I decided to hit the back with a little bit of white roll paint that I have, just so it matches the sides a little better. And there it is, all done. Just gotta let it dry up, get it cleaned up, and take it in the house. And there it is, folks. Hope you enjoy this little video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your help with the channel and support. God bless. Take care. Boom, 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 boom.